All right, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to do a VRA update. We'll talk some recent news, some chart analysis and price predictions. Before we hop in, just a reminder, a lot of you guys have redeemed it, but if you are a subscriber, this is exclusive for my subscribers to the channel. You guys can redeem a chart pattern guide, runs through kind of 12 key chart patterns and describes them and how to trade them. So make sure that you follow the link in the description below to claim yours. Awesome. So let's go ahead and get started touching on some really quick brief news. First of all, Verasity announced that their 2022 staking plan is finalized. It's at 18.25%, coming down from that 25.55% last year. And this is going to carry all the way through to 2023. So good update there. A really cool, interesting update here from VRA Wallet. They're actually going to have a VRA card that's going to be a standard Visa card, which Verasity users will be able to order and use it for shopping on various online platforms. And this is coming out in Q2 of 2022. Finally, a new listing just a few days ago. Femex, not as high volume as other exchanges, but still, worth mentioning. VRA will have additional volume coming in because of this new listing, so that's good to know. Now, jumping over to the charts, I want to try to make this kind of a brief update and pack in as much information as I can. So let's just roll right into it. First of all, obviously, we had this kind of major 70 to 80% pullback, and we've been consolidating now, since mid-January. And we've slowly kind of formed this bullish rectangle. And that range is from 3.5 cents to 1.8 cents, if you see that. So we've been playing within there for about the last month and a half or so. And now just these last few days, we've actually been able to break out of that. And obviously, if you're watching closely, your eyes have probably been on it. For the first time in a while, we're seeing a lot of green. The last time we saw this was back here in early February. And maybe we thought we were going to actually make that U-turn, but we didn't there. So we have this bullish rectangle that's formed. We've kind of broken out at least of this kind of consolidation period, but we're not really out of the woods yet, right? Because you can see the top area of this range, was around that 3.433 cent level. So we still have some ways to go. Another couple of things to note about the chart. When we actually broke out, if you can look here, we actually stood almost exactly on that 100-day moving average, and it looks like we might even back test that as well. So really, really cool to see us finally breaking back up to that 100-day moving average. We haven't been above it since back in August, and once we went above it, look what happened, right? I mean, this is quite a large breakout. You're talking a 4x. Not saying that that's going to happen here. Obviously, I hope, my fingers are crossed that that's what we're headed for. But just wanted to note that we haven't been below the 100-day and 200-day for this long since last year. So from May to August, we were under it last year. And now we've been under the 100-day, actually. We've been under for almost 113 days. So, I mean, almost 4 months we've been under this 100-day. And today we finally broke above it. And obviously we're seeing that green candle come above it as well. So really, really cool. Really good timing now for VRA. Good time to have your sights on it. In terms of the RSI, this more short term gives me a little bit of concern. Maybe concern is the wrong word, but maybe just apprehension, right? Because we're coming up so aggressively now to the oversold market 70. Right now we're hovering around the low 60s. But you can see every time we touch that, right? So boom here, boom here, boom here, boom here. And just using those two, I mean, this happens essentially every single time in the chart, right? We can go back and forth and do it all day. But every single time we hit that oversold mark, we do have a correction of some type, right? I mean, in some cases it's more serious, like here. Some cases it's a little less serious, like here. So using that, I think it's pretty fair to hypothesize that we'll probably will see a back test. So we're not going to do anything like this where we just keep ripping, right? I mean, that almost never happens. It does, right? It happens because this is crypto. But at the same time, I would say it's likely that we back test either, this downward trend line. So what I mean by backtest is, you break above it and then you backtest it to confirm that you're not going to drop again below, right? Because if you confirm that gives confidence from fundamental standpoint to keep going that way. You validate the upward breakout, right? So that combined with the fact that the RSI is so high right now, I'd say we are due for a bit of a pullback. I don't know when that's going to be, but it's kind of baked into this. We'll see a bit of a pullback and hopefully a retest of a specific level. So I think it's either going to be this downtrend line. I think more likely we're probably looking at this kind of previous resistance level during that consolidation period of around 2.4 cents, 2.5. I think anywhere between 2.4 and 2.5, we'll see a retest here. So, somewhere in this range. So somewhere in that range, I think we'll probably come back and have to play and test here and then bounce back up, which is totally fine. This is a huge breakout for VRA, right? Because we were kind of stagnant and consolidating for a while. We need those periods to move to the upside. But again, we don't want to get completely stuck. So with that chart analysis and kind of chart breakdown out of the way, let's look at some key levels and kind of start breaking down some price analysis and predictions. So if we draw out this fib retracement, it's going to become clear what levels we're fighting for right now. So like I said, we don't really know how long this breakout's going to last. I'd say a fair assumption, if we let me just redraw this resistance potential retest line. So let's say, and this is a hypothetical, but let's say obviously the next strong resistance is 3.1 cents. I could see us having trouble with that, coming back down, retesting, but then going by it pretty easily and then shooting for the 4.2 cent mark. Why I think that as well is, one, because out of an aggressive breakout, out of consolidation, you almost always see a retest. Number two, this has been a extremely difficult resistance for VRA to crack. So we've hit it 3 times with no cigar, and now we're gonna have to go for it with a 4th time to try to crack over that. And obviously, we could just slide right over, right? I mean, it's possible, but I would say, being on the more conservative side, we probably ricochet off 3-1, retest, and then go. So right now, short term, we're looking at 3.1 cents, and then above that, 4.2 cents. Those are kind of our near-term targets and kind of what we're looking in terms of a goal for a price target to hit. And let me pull that back up. But kind of looking at, where we want to be long-term, right? I think obviously the first kind of big battle comes with reclaiming the all-time high. So that's about 8.7 cents, 8.8 cents, just under 9 cents. And the goal is to be playing within here, within, at least by the end of this year, right? I mean, that would be awesome. Because if we're playing, within this level, that means we've reclaimed a new all-time high, and we're also shooting for another one, right? And I think that there's going to be quite a bit of psychological resistance in this area, because you think about the 10-cent mark. A lot of people have the 10-cent mark as a target in their head. A lot of them have it as a sell target. A lot of people are talking about on Twitter about VRA hitting 10 cents. I think 10 cents is going to be a huge psychological barrier. So I could see us kind of having some trouble, and this is 10.5. I'll pull it down just a little bit. I could see us having some serious resistance, some serious consolidation between 8.7 and 10 cents before we stand on top and go for 13 cents. So that's more the long-term look. I think we can see 13 cents, in the long-term, medium long-term. More short-term, we're looking at we're looking at a reclaim above 3.1 cents here. Like I said, it's likely we bounce off, retest, then go. And then after that, it's 4.2 cents. And to break out of this kind of channel, so let's say, we climb. You can see that this is a pretty big neckline that we would have to break. So in my opinion, this 7.1 cent, 7.2 cent is going to be a really key level. And then obviously the all-time high at 8.7. So, short to midterm, we're looking at something between 3.1 cents and 4.2 cents. So we are literally just hoping to reclaim Let me get a triangle out here. So we're literally just looking to reclaim this area as support, right? So we want to flip these previous resistances. Now I don't have my brush, but these previous resistances, we need to flip these into support. So that's a stand on 3-1, and then we need to flip this resistance into support, and that is the stand on 4-2. So that's kind of the big challenge ahead, and that's kind of why it's taken so long for it to turn around, because we have those strong resistances at those levels. So look for a play between 3-1 and 4.25 in terms of these cent levels short term, and then long term we're looking to play between 8.7 and 13 cents, and that's a bullish long term outlook. But a lot of exciting things coming for VRA. I'm super excited about the future of the project. We have some big things coming up Q1, Q2 of this year, so make sure you pay attention to the news coming out. I will try to update you guys as much as I can, but thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. Leave a like if you got value, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.